Today we're using Steelix in the Open Great League. Now I've been wanting to test out Steelix, especially after it now can learn Breaking Swipe. Now I liked how Poliwrath did and as well as Mandibuzz did in my previous video with Magnezone. So I figured why not keep those Pokemon and then basically just swap out the Steel Pokemon, which was Magnezone, for the Steelix. So I'm going to go ahead and show these battles, and I'm also going to go over losses as well. Now for this one right here in particularly, we do lose the matchup, or we do lose the match. I ended up swapping out to my Steelix, but honestly, the better play would have been to swap out to my Mandibuzz. Yes, the Azumarill most likely does have the, the Ice Beam. In this case, I think this was an Ice Beam Hydro Pump. Now, one thing I've been trying to do is get used to counting moves, and for some reason, I've been doing a terrible job of it these past 2 days. I swear, I'm like, no, they haven't reached that move yet. And I've gone Earthquake. I've gone with that Hydro Pump you just saw with the Azumarill. So really have to, get better with that. But I want that habit to start building, because once I start getting into actual ELO, once I reveal my ELO, I want to actually be able to, for those harder matchups, later on in the season, I want to be able to have gotten used to counting moves. That way it can help me catch moves and just really know where my opponent's energy is at. If you haven't already, feel free to leave a like and also subscribe, especially if you want to see more Pokemon battles. Now, the one thing I really like about Poliwrath is it does such a great job against Trevenant. So right here, we threaten it so well that it's going to have to shield at this point, and Ice Punch does so much damage. Ice Punch on Poliwrath does a lot more damage than on a Medicham, which I don't really know what the attack stats, but obviously Poliwrath has a higher attack than Medicham. Now, for this one, we aren't able to win it. We're gonna take down the Trevenant, but there's gonna be a G there's gonna be G-Fist, so yeah, there's definitely no way we can win. But with how stubborn I am, we're gonna go ahead and just keep playing out the matchup. We're gonna go ahead and Dark Pulse it. Now I am still running Air Slash on the Mandibuzz, and I personally just feel like I like it better. Yes, when you're against a Steel type, you're not going to do as well. And with Snarl, you do probably get to Dark Pulse faster. But just with how I feel like I've just been having a lot better matchups when it has the Air Slash. Especially, I'm going to go ahead tomorrow show you guys more matches with the Magnezone team that I created. And honestly, that team is insane. I'll let you guys know I actually won on an 11 win streak with that team, and probably could have gone higher, but I did make a misplay, which I'll go ahead and I'll most likely show when I show you guys the video. But right here, I started seeing a lot of Frostlass, and that actually was a bit of a core breaker for this team, just because it was really awkward. I want to say because I didn't really have anything to really swap it into. And we're going to go ahead and basically save swap the Steelix. And later on, what I'm going to go ahead and do is basically, I didn't like Steelix being all the way in the back, right? I just didn't like that. So I ended up switching him to the lead. And I think for the next matches after this one, because it was just so awkward. It was just really awkward, especially with trying to deal with those, the Frostlass. So I haven't tried Hitmontop. I know it has triple axle, which is pretty cool. It has the ability to raise its attack. Now, this one got 2 attack buffs, so pretty crazy there. I knew they were going to shield that first one. Now, we're going to go ahead and bring in the Mandibuzz. Now, see, this is when it is difficult. Now, I do have a ton of energy on the Poliwrath, so I'm going to go ahead and Dynamic Punch. And I think I make a huge mistake here. See, this is when, my counting is really off. I really need to look at the move charts. Excuse me, because I don't shield this. Why am I going to think that this opponent is going to go ahead and throw an Avalanche? That makes no sense, right? So I don't really know the move count. I have to go back at it. I don't know if it's 5 Powder Snow and then 6 for the Shadow Ball. I could be very wrong. I'll have to look at that. But I think that's really what costed me the match. And I think it might have been winnable, honestly. I don't know if we would have reached that next Dynamic Punch, but it might have come close. And had we maybe farmed a little bit Frostlass isn't the tankiest Pokemon. So if with the Poliwrath I was able to get it to a point where the Ice Punch could have taken him out, that definitely would have been the way to go. And perhaps I could have won that match. But hey, it is what it is. We're going to go ahead and just get taken out by like a focus blast. Uh, again, I am just so stubborn. I don't top left. We're going to go ahead and let this trainer take us out finally. And finally, these next couple matches, we are going to see some wins here. So if you guys stuck around, really appreciate it. Now with the Steelix, I was so happy because when I finally switched, I'm like, dude, we're getting some good matches. I thought we are gonna get hard counter by switching my Steelix to the lead. So right here we're gonna go up against the Victory Bell, and they're gonna go ahead and shield that first move, and this is perfect because now they end up switching off. They switch to but I can't even think right now. They switched to G-Fest. Now right here, when I saw this, I counted 6. Right, and I think I missed some of the moves there, and because when they had swapped it in, I think that's when they got 2 in, and then I counted 6. So when I counted 6, I'm like, nah, they definitely are at the Earthquake. I just missed some moves. So we shielded correctly. They're gonna bring back the Victory Bell. Now I'm gonna go ahead and shield this. They've used 1 shield, and we're almost at the back-to-back Ice Punch. So basically, that's what I'm gonna go ahead and do. I'm gonna go ahead now. I'm at the back-to-back Ice Punch. So we are going to take some damage, for this next one it comes in, when the Razor Leaf comes in, but we're going to be able to just, we're basically 1 HP in a dream. Looks like we're going to be able to just barely take out this Victory Bell, and we're going to go ahead and find out what else they have in the back. They have a Sableye, and because we're running Amanda Buzz, we basically, they're going to go ahead and they know that's pretty much over. We resist a foul play. It's going to take too long for them to just basically do like 2 returns. So anyway, going on to this next match. Now with Lantern having that nerf with Spark, I forget if it's like using more energy. Basically, it takes longer to get to moves. Let's go ahead and say that. So we're gonna get to this breaking. So now, honestly, I thought that you guys are gonna end up seeing that this opponent actually was misplaying because they should have just thrown the Surf right away. Spark Lantern now actually. It CMPs with Steelix, so the minute you get to a breaking swipe, they also get to a Surf. So on the next matchup, you guys are going to see that the opponent is throwing right away because they're being able to CMP with Steelix, and maybe they actually found that out, so that's what they're doing. I'm going to go ahead and do this breaking swipe right here just to be able to take out the Lantern. I just want it to be gone. We're going to take out the Lantern, and now they're going to go ahead and bring in a Talonflame. Now, because it does take a while for their fast move, Incinerate, to take us out, we're going to be able to reach 1 breaking swipe. And I think my opponent was scared that I might have had some type of a rock move. So they're going to go ahead and shield that, which is perfect for us. Now we've gone ahead and dropped their attack. And now we can comfortably bring in the Mana Buzz. We can take in a Brave Bird if they decide to do it. Then I decided to do a Flame Charge. And I think they realized that it did really nothing. So they decided to bring in their Abomasnow, which is perfect because now we can bring in the Poliwrath. Right? Now, I was really scared because the way I was counting, I was so scared that I was going to get it wrong and an Energy Ball would just nuke us out of existence. So I decided to just go ahead and just shield. Right here, I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is just a Weather Ball. And when I'm commentating here, I know it's a little bit more, it's a little bit fast forwarded, but I'm like, when I'm counting, I'm like, dude, they're not even at that move yet. But as you guys can see, that was a struggle that I was having. So later on, I hopefully it just becomes a bigger habit to count the moves correctly, and then it's going to help me out. So right here, I thought our opponent might Flame Charge, but why would they do that? They wouldn't be able to take us out. So they Brave Bird us, and they do decide to stick around for a little bit more. But now that their attack has dropped by 2 stages, we're going to be able to just easily take it out with a Dark Pulse. I wonder if an Air Slash would have taken it out from that range. I doubt it, but very close. So for this last match, we do end up losing, and this is the Lantern matchup I'm talking about. So here we got 2, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So either I missed 1 or at 6 they were to throw it, but I'm pretty sure they would. Let me go ahead I'm going to go ahead and count this next one, guys. So, okay. We CMP here, and I was like, what? I was like, that with that last matchup, I was able to throw it. So, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that could be wrong, but I thought at 6, that was already on the last season, so maybe it's not that big of a nerf. That is kind of interesting, because I thought it was 6 to Surf regardless anyway. Yeah, see, like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. So 6 sparks to get to Surf still. That's actually pretty interesting. So is it just the? I believe it's just the Thunderbolt that is now it takes to get to 9. Wow. So that's actually really interesting. Let me know in the comments, guys. That's actually really interesting to me, seeing that Surf is still taking 6 sparks to get there. So we're gonna go ahead and Earthquake it. We're able to Earthquake the G-Fist, which was really satisfying. Now, I'm going to bring in the Poliwrath, and our arch nemesis of this set is going to be able to, is going to go ahead and show itself. We're going to go ahead and take this Earthquake, and now they're going to bring in a Frostlass. Now, this is when Air Slash Mana Buzz, it really is it really does have a tougher matchup against the Frostlass here. We're going to go ahead and shield this first one, right? We're sadly not going to be able to get to the back-to-back. I was hoping, because if we get to the back-to-back, we threaten even more, but that Avalanche really did a lot of damage. Mana Buzz was able to live it because it's so tanky, but it's not going to be able to reach that final Air Slash, which might have actually won us the game, because then I could have just dynamic punched, and I'm pretty sure I would have been able to win the matchup. Right here, this is a bait, but we're just at a range where we can just get taken out. I actually think if I shielded that Earthquake, we might have had a bigger shot. Mana Buzz was only going to be able to get to 1 move, right? Maybe we might have won, actually, but unfortunately we do end up losing that matchup. I hope, showing you guys those losses actually also helps you as well. And I'm really excited to be able to show you guys the next video, so stay tuned for that one. Magnezone is just a beast, and Mana Buzz is actually going to display just how good it is and why I personally like Air Slash over Snarl. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.